Hi and good morning to everybody. Today I wish to develop the first part of our lecture about humanity united as one family. Last time we talked about the 4 points to reach this goal according to our experiences, and today the idea is to develop more the first point. The first point, which is about work on ourselves to reach health and happiness. The famous quote of Gandhi, if you want peace in the world, start by cleaning your front door. So this part is very important. Without it, we cannot go to the second stage, which will be sharing with a family in couples, children's, and extended society, until being able to welcome people to share our experience, which is a fourth step we propose to develop this humanity united as one family. So to come back to the first point, and the work on ourselves to reach health and happiness, there is, let's say, to prepare it and to present it to ease the understanding, 3 times that we are experiencing all the time together. The present, of course, the past, because we live in our past, either in the present, and the future, because we hope in another type of future every day at each moment. So past, present, and future are living together. And according to Mr. I.D.E.A.L, it's so important to develop the ability to stay in the present. Staying in the present it's linked to our ability to be in love in the present moment. But being in the present is linked to make peace with our past and peace with our future. For that, it depends effectively of the quality to be present in this famous state of love. For that, we have so much to consider. As we have developed previously in our other videos, we know today that health depending on our ability to be connected to this field that some quantum physicians have called tachyonic field. In all tradition, they talk about more energy. Today we have the chance with the discovery of the electromagnetism to realize that there is a kind of life that goes through us and is around us. We can, of course, witness life in trees, in animals, in humans, but today we know that we are crossed by waves of energy. This energy is magnetic, electric, and create field in us. And from this discovery, we have been able to realize that taking time by introspection, meditation, for example, or just a kind of silence where we connect to this pure energy where we are living in, increase the quality of our health. A lot of research and experience, scientific experience now have demonstrated that. Particularly what's show up, which is so amazing, is specifically when we meditate on the pure light with feelings of love, when we have a vision and imagination with feelings, the effect on ourselves is completely amazing. If we transpose to our present moment, to increase the level of our health and well-being, having time of introspection to connect with this reality that surrounds us and which is in us too, because we are completely crossed by all this wave of energy, using this ability to concentrate on this light which is in us and around us, and this love that is going through us, because we need feelings to impact the state of our cells. Epigenetics talk about 5 elements to transmute our genetics and allows our genes to re-encode to express the better part of ourselves, all our potentials. We know that education, ex-ducare, means helping someone to express the better of ourselves. And we know through epigenetics that there is 5 factors that help that. The food and all the chemistry around us, wearing clothes which are natural, beside acrylic, stuff like that, eating good stuff, but the quality of the air, of the water, many things. All that has a strong impact and could restrain the expression of our life to be in the survival, or expand and allow the life to express in ourselves. Second parameters is everything linked to movement, to touch, to having sport, walking, everything linked to the movement. We know today there is amazing neurological movement to free the brain of restriction, like the I.D.E.A.L method. But there is many of them, like in Qigong, in ancient China, and any slow movement, just like walking, also simple, walking, swimming, horse riding. There is very simple activities that help to get out of the survival mode and express the deepness of our life. Third parameters, which is the ability of the resilience we have to deal with the stress. So stress management. Stress management is a big topic, and again, there is many methods today to deal with stress management. Some methods like Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian method, but you have the neuro-linguistic programmation that help to deal with stress management. You have just the common sense that as soon we increase the negativity in a situation, we give strength to this situation. We increase on ourselves hormones of stress, of negativity. Whoop, we jump to the survival mode. Or we can, on the other hand, do the opposite and try to minimize, to diminish the negativity and concentrate on the good part behind. What we learn through this stress. What is the challenge? How we could grow with that. So it's an attitude. And this attitude is very common in families. It's more common sense, and parents who know already certain sequences of what we need to go through, and grandparents more again help usually naturally young people to develop this type of resilience. Another factors is the ability to spend time to develop dreams in us, to develop hobbies, to develop something that just develop joy in us, something that we adore, something that makes us so happy, and which is, there is certain parameters to respect on that, in the quietness, in something really deep that allow us to expand joy, to cultivate, if you want, on the level of hormones, the famous endorphins, the hormone of love, like oxytocin. For that, excitement usually have a peak and get down and sometimes transmute in catecholamines when you're too excited in your activity that are supposed to make you happy. So to have certain hobbies that deeply give you the kind of smile of the Joconde, you know, the withdraw of the drawing, of Leonardo da Vinci, and these deep, good feelings. So having time like that every day, at least a couple times a week, it could be through sport, it could be through going in nature, or anything on your creativity. That is something very important that allow you mutation in your genes to get out of animal life, survival, to human life, expanding your love. And the last and not the least, it's human relationship. The efficiency of our social and family network. What type of relationship we have with people around us at the time T now, and how we could work on that. And there is a relationship that we cannot fix by talking. We cannot fix mentally. We can fix it by sending love, by taking people that we have conflict in us, in our heart, and singing for them, penetrating with light, with love. It doesn't mean that we are in the right or they are in the wrong, but there is a tension. And any tension can be solved by putting people we have difficulty with in our heart, in our love, and murmuring, chanting, having just always the same principle. There is a tension in our body with people, putting light, putting love, and transporting that with us is an amazing way just to make short. But of course we have amazing tools like nonviolent communication from Marshall Rosenberg and so many that's existing today to help people to make your couple life, your relationship with your children, with your parents, at work, and with any humans much, much better. So this fifth element that we have already talked in previous talk are effectively interesting. But to be more simple than all that, in our daily life and our present moment, something to keep in mind all the time, we can meditate or we can be completely aware, as now I'm talking to you, and I can be just connected to my brain to be surrounded by light. I don't need to close my eyes, I don't need to be focused and have a transcendental meditation, just to feel my light like a sun, like to clear my mind, to open myself to this clear energy. And whatever I might thought, either when I've complicate things in my brain and my mind, I could just offer them in this field of light. And suddenly magical things happen. Things are melting, are releasing, and suddenly clarity emerges from the brain. On the other hand, the heart has to be warm. So many things in our daily life close our heart, making cold, alone, separate from the other. Any words, any talk, una sola parola, as Italians said, just a word, just a signal, and we close our heart. And it's a very good reflex in a certain way, because heart is the most precious things for ancient Oriental people. They say that the heart is the secret chamber, the secret room for the spirit. And so we tend to have the reflex all the time. First thing when there is a stress is to close our heart, to protect it. Either physically, we have a membrane called the pericardium, which is the bouncer of our heart. And very often we can see on treatment people who have a very locked pericardium. So there is every reason of the world are always good to close our heart. And how to open our heart without be open to all the winds and the coldness of people and be completely submerged by negative energy, aggression and all that. It's just about a decision inside us. And as the quotes say, to live happy, live hidden. I hope my English is now clear for the hidden, meaning that you not necessarily have to show up. It's an inner attitude inside you, an inner smile, like the Joconde, to open your heart to nature, to people, to yourself. Because sometimes you are very bugged by yourself, by some stuff that you do, some kind of pattern that you reproduce from parents, from society, that you really hate. This hate towards you is always damageable and make your heart close again. So living in this present moment is a challenge in two sides. The daddy side, the brain, the mental area, to try to emerge in this light. Either if you thoughts are complex, abandon them, melt them in this light by meditation or by just having a second thought. You have all meaning your argumentation, and meantime try to focus aside around in a kind of light that weave everything which is existing in the world, that connect you to the wisdom of the light of the world, that make you completely amazed. Because the work of being in the present moment is to love the wisdom of the world. The world is unbelievable, is so wise, so amazing how the nature is, how humans have such potential, how life is, and this ability to be focused on this beauty that is present, allow our heart to open. And now we have a reason to open our heart and to love this wisdom, to love this pure light which is everywhere. Either if humans tend to corrupt the world by closing their hearts, by darkening their mind, it's not a reason to be, as Nelson Mandela said, to become a firelight, a lighthouse, a lighthouse which is able to see the beauty of nature, either in human, either in our life, behind the appearances. And in the meantime, seeing this beauty, this pure sparkling everywhere, to start to adore it, to open our heart and make that either if we are offended, if we are hurt, it doesn't stay long. A little tear, be pissed off, and after that we continue, we reopen our heart. It's a training. And more we train ourselves, more we develop in ourselves these two parents, this fatherhood in us that keep in charge to have a goal, to have a cape, to focus on this beauty which is everywhere. And this motherhood in us that keep this warm completely in admiration to the beauty of the world. So be able to do that, of course, is impacted by our past and either our future. When our life has been difficult, we try always to escape the present in the future, or we refugee in the past to complain of what we have go through. And again, all that it's completely normal. There is nothing to condemn the idea of living in the present moment with these two new parents in our mental level and our heart, our emotional level, that could fathering and mothering a new life, a new type of life. And being this love, truly, we can be impacted by so many wounds in the past that we avoid to accept that things could be so simple. And because we have scar, because we have wound, because we have impairment through our past. But we can do the experience sometime to be in this pure light, in this pure love. And when we have that, it's so important in our present moment to revisit our past and try to remodulate it. Because experiencing terrible things are not our destiny. This is the destiny more of our fear, which is normally the rule of animals. Animals save their life by fear. Humans are designed to share, to create a family, to serve each other, to please each other. And it's a quantum leap to pass from this animal nature that develop greedy to have everything for us and not share with the other, to be constantly in the fear to be taken, and to suddenly see the beauty on the other, on life, and start to open our heart and weave connection together. So this challenge is not possible as soon we touch something that we've experienced, which has been so painful that everything is okay, but not that. That's why we have to manage many moments in our day where we could experience this pure love and this pure connection to beauty. And after that, in our present, revisiting specific moments of our past to repattern our brain. The proposal is to go through 4 moments. The first moment is the unconscious, when we were in the womb, when all our particles has been built, and during at birth, the early childhood, all these moments that we normally around 5 years old, we don't have any memories. So this is a moment where we have no consciousness at all. It's it's completely foggy for us. And during that time, we are completely open to our environment. So if our parents are in tension, if we are not desired, if we have received violence in the womb through our mother, who could be in big distress, many things could have impacted us. If our father have physical condition before conception, we know that the spermatozoid takes 6 weeks to be renewed, and during these 6 weeks the impact on determination of genetics is so strong. So all that could have impact, limited, and include a lot of fear in our body, making that this stone, which is our body, our bones, and all these cells, the matter with a shape, which is what is condensate, could be very limited, blocked, restricted, and don't allow us to jump in this present moment of love and happiness. So for that, it's so we have a tool which is simple to use again. It's to repass these events and where we come from, and to use imagination, to repattering in our cells, in our DNA, in our brain, another story. A story that talks about our potential. As potential, we know today as human is designed for pure love and connectivity. All of us, nobody is not designed for that. Coming from this conclusion, we could just offer to the children who have been in the womb amazing parents, adorable, loving parents taking care, and we could re-experience in ourselves coming from parents that adore each other. Whatever is the reality, we are going to rebuild our own reality to increase our ability to be in love in the present moment, and to remove how our stone, our body, our horse has been programmed with fear, with retention, with darkness. And we could just be again melt this previous moment in pure love and beauty, poetry. See our parents that pure person, pure poetry, pure beauty, amazing being, completely in their full potential of happiness and shining their love and their amaze for life. And in this way conceiving us, and in this way be carrying in the womb, and in this way be born and be breastfed and be completely the pure jewel of our parents, and that they dedicate so many intensity of their life to adore us, to see in us the expression of this pure beauty they see everywhere, and behave with us in the same intention. From that, we could imagine that we could in fact not imagine, experience another sensation in our cells, in our bone, in our marrow, something that suddenly, whoa, I felt completely love. I haven't do anything. This period of life is not in the doing, it's in the being. And now my being, I experience right now that I am loved from scratch, from my origin. My origin is something sublime, and I experience now allowing me having amazing parents, amazing love that have conceived me, and that allow me to completely expand my full potential. Suddenly, I develop a face in my past. And I start to develop a faith in love, because I felt love. And more I experience this love, more I develop my faith. The faith is a belief that you're able to experience. You know the reality that most of all what I describe hasn't happened in your life, but you can suddenly change the parameters, immerse you in this love, and feel in your bones, in your whole cells, that you are deeply loved. Experiencing this love in your past, suddenly you experience it, and you start to develop a faith, and you raise a lot of belief system that you are unwanted, you are problems for your parents, you are pain, and you have a weight and all that, which is very often what we have experienced and what we call reality. But we are creator. We could transmute this reality by experiencing a new one in our present moment. Using this principle, we could jump to the second stage of life, from 6-7 years when we have definitive twos starting until 8 years old to teenager age, the moment where we develop our strengths, our doing. And this moment is more linked to the subconscious. We're not completely aware of our life, but we move, we want to play, we want to joke. We are pure vitality, pure energy. You know, all these children that, what is the definition of children? They move constantly, they play constantly. And this vitality is the moment where you unroot the ability to be powerful, to be strong, to be pure energy, that everything is possible. This is a moment that Mark Twain has described, saying, children didn't know it was impossible, so they have done it. They done it. Sorry. So this is exactly this state that we have to recover. And it could be that during our childhood, we have been beaten, we have been mistreated very strongly, sexually abused, completely manipulated, completely, that our parents was fearing so much for us that we cannot have friends, we cannot move, or abandon us in the road and have very negative experience with many people, neighbors, stuff like that. This is what we have experienced. We could offer ourselves some moments where we experience another reality and develop another phase. And this time will be more phase on our strength, that we are powerful. In fact, that our power is without limits, exactly what the children have. There is no limit for children. In 2 seconds, they told you the way to stop war, to stop to make that everybody has something to eat in their plate, to make you traveling in other planets. There is no limit in children. And they live that in the moment present. They don't understand the world of adults, because for them there is no limit. And we have to come back to this possibility that there is no limit. To meet this ability to cleaning our front door, that our life make a difference for the whole world, to feel responsible for the whole world, as children are. So, and at that time, we develop a very strong, we change our subconscious. We change this feeling to be restrained, to be limited in our life. And so we re-embrace the infinite and the pure power. It's so important to get out of all the domination and the restriction that we have developed in our life. And all of us, we have passed through limitation, through parents or society that has made us feel not enough good, stupid or whatever. Today, neuroscience have proved that there is more than 17 different intelligence. Myself, I can understand things just if I'm listening and I'm doing sport or activity. So I record all my books and I'm walking or doing sport while I have studying all my stuff. And when I was at the school, they say this children is completely inadapted for school. And finally ended to succeed at the university. And in my work today, and I'm able to go and to visit what science is doing. But I know my intelligence is limited to hearing and moving. But if I respect that, I get it. And neuroscience show that if we respect the intelligence of each kid, every children could be the first in his room, in his class. So, just to come back to this idea that removing all this limitation we have received on us by re-experiencing moments of this pure freedom and this pure power. And of course, revisiting the third part of our development, which is teenager age, the moment where we want to define ourselves beside the other. Suddenly we enter in the consciousness. We want to, because we are conscious of ourselves, we want to meet the other. And this is really the definition of the I. And when we become conscious of ourselves, and we say that a lot to teenagers, oh, they are too much self-conscious. They are too much, looking in the mirror for hours to try to understand who they are. Are they enough beautiful? Are enough good to please the other, or to be accepted, or to be adored? And of course, if we have been mistreated when we was babies, with a lack of self-esteem, mistreated as kids, and a lack of self-confidence, of strength, of power, it's very difficult to enter in this world. So we could have a lot of impairments in our image of ourselves, and we could restrain who we are. And so this is something that could really diminish our own expression. So revisiting these moments and accompany the teenager we were, sorry, and revisiting it and imagining we are with this teenager. We help this teenager to ask question of life, to learn to accept their unicity in their intelligence, in their being, in their abilities, and to accept that the other are different. But we want to share this difference. We don't want to fight it. We want to share what's united us behind all that. And more we are in peace with ourselves, more we will be in peace with the self of the other. And we will be able to, again, try to have this target of what is the light in these people in front of me. Where I learn what is the light in me, what is the love in me. I re-experience as a teenager that I was already conscious of the love that I have in my heart, that I want to share with friends, with girlfriend, boyfriends. I know it. I know how I love animals. So I know at that time I start to become aware of the love I was carrying in my heart, but has been hurt to not be able to express it, to be loved by the other, and to love the other freely. I close my heart many times with many misunderstanding in between us. So I have to revisit that and to re-allow me to bath my heart in this love, to re-nurture my brain with this beauty of life, and to go a next step, to see this beauty in the head and the heart of people around us, to be convinced and to do the experience that each being carrying this life, like each animal, like each tree, like each stone. And it's about us to become conscious of this pure love and beauty that we have in us, which is invisible. It's an experience. If I experience in me, of course it exists around me. And I'm ready, when I pass this third step, to enter to the us. After the me, the I enter into the us, in the adulthood. The adulthood is, okay, I'm living in a society. I'm going to learn a job to serve my friends because they are like me. There is a beauty, they are original. But in the meantime, like me, they're carrying this light, this love goes through their heart, through their mind. Of course, they have wounded them too, so they tend to darken it, to close their heart, but deeply they have the same potential. I have experienced it in me. So now I want to work to serve this life which is in them. And this is the possibility to rebuild our commitments. Because we could have started our adulthood with a lot of difficulties, not finding job, be mistreated, be abused by others, be that people tease us and really mistreated at a very high level, much more than we was when we were a kid. So this type of situation is impact us and block us. So revisiting either the beginning of the adulthood allow us to remove certain very difficult experience. At that moment, we are really in a consciousness of ourselves, and we could develop some just to revisit certain events that have traumatized ourselves, and we could rewarm our heart, re-enlighten our brain, forgive to these people who have hurt us or that we have hurt, because at that time we was separate from ourselves, so we was separate from the other. So all this process of revisiting the past in the present moment with the same ideas of the present moment, fathering, mothering with love, with light, with beauty, every event of our life, but with this state when we built our square, the square of our matter, this four phase of the development of the human beings. When we are there, we are ready to jump on the future and to hope to build on this cube of this fourth stage of our life. We are going to be able to build a kind of a monument for our life. We could project us in the present moment, in the full potential of our expression, become someone that heal all the disease, that become the more nice person, but in the meantime the more commit to the other, but in the meantime connected to the whole nature, animals, plants, that save the planet, that, and not save, I don't like this name, but more embrace the planet, be completely part of it. We could imagine whatever, either what science fiction has developed on us, to but in a way not of Star War, but more on the Star Love. All this ability that every people shine and send this light, this love to each other and build completely a new world. I know it's look idealistic, but this is what is future. Future is designed by hope. And what we hope to develop our full potential, our full power. We hope on power. So this is what it's so important to not diminish the power we are having in our potential as being amazing person, developing what we admire on certain human, but on the highest level. And having make peace with our past and our future, poof, it becomes so much simple to live on our present moment and really restore our well-being and our health. Whatever the condition, genetic condition and past where we have been wounded, we could at that time make peace at least and take time and nurture with these new parents in us, this focus on beauty, this warmth in our heart. We could take time to melt all the bitterness, all the acidity that has weaved our body, our emotional life, our mental life, and be in patient, the famous quality which is so difficult in attention and patience. Take the time day by day to maintain this focus on pure love parenting to ourselves first. And being able to do that, we will be able for the second stage, which is building a couple, a family, friendships with the other, and really co-create the world we want to live in. Thank you so much.